Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, it's another absolutely gorgeous day out. The sun is just rising. It's first thing in the morning here, and it's a beautiful morning. There was no rain last night. There's no rain in the forecast today, and the temperature is starting to pick up a little bit. And I'm recording in a little bit different of a place than normal. I mean, today I'm on an abandoned road. I'm still kind of out in the woods, but this to me is absolutely surreal. I mean, if you ask me, it kind of reminds me of the Winding Dead, the Walking Dead. I don't know here. It's just, I love this stuff. It's just very cool, very neat overall. So I can take you along with me on my morning walk here as we talk some news. And the first thing I see here just above me is a woodpecker. It might be a little bit hard to see on this DJI, so what I'm going to do now is just switch to my phone so you can see that. So I don't know if you can see too well, but right in the middle of the screen is that little woodpecker. And as soon as I got my phone out to start recording, it did fly into a different tree, which was a little bit unfortunate, but we can still see him. But let's just get back to the news here, and I won't be distracted by fluffs. So first up on the docket, we're talking about Stop Killing Games. And if you're a fan of the Stop Killing Games initiative, you're probably well aware of everything that's happened so far. And it has been a while since we've talked about it, but I do have an update for you. So they have a brand new post up on Reddit, and if you're interested and wanted to learn more about it, like everything we talk about, links will be in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. But taking a look here, they say in a campaign update, first, thank you again for your incredible support. Together we gathered around 1.45 million signatures before the July 31st deadline. Verification is now underway, and early reports from several countries show around 97% of signatures being valid. Excellent news that puts us in a very strong position going forward. Now, I would say one of the big concerns for the entire campaign was how many of those signatures were real and how many were fake. I mean, right towards the end, it got a massive push and a lot of people signed on. And it turns out most of those were real people. 97%, I would say, is absolutely amazing. Now, it is worth noting that not all signatures have been verified just yet. So they're currently on track for 97% verification. And I'm hoping that that track record keeps up and is apparent throughout the entire thing. I mean, that would be huge if there were 97% of the signatures being real. On 1.45 million, if my math is correct, I think that's around 1.4-ish, give or take, which would be absolutely huge. I mean, if you think about it, that is a very big initiative overall. And I would argue, and this might be a hot take, but I would argue that it's much bigger than an initiative like Collective Shout. So I'm curious to see what a very large initiative can do in terms of making things happen. So as for what's next here, I guess for the next 3 months, give or take, signatures will be verified to see if everything checks out and everything's okay. And then the next phase is the legislative outreach to members of Parliament and the Commission. Very curious to see what happens there. They say countering misinformation and industry lobbying, strengthening our community structures to support this next stage. Some of this work must remain behind the scenes for now. Past attempts to undermine the initiative have shown us the risks of being too open. But rest assured, important groundwork is being laid. So without trying to get ahead of myself here, I'm hoping that the future of Stop Killing Games remains strong. Right now, it seems the campaign, the initiative is in a very good place. And hopefully things continue, but let me know your thoughts about all of this. And speaking about stuff in a good place, next up we're talking about Nintendo DS emulation with MelonDS. And there appears to have been a brand new emulator launcher, a GUI for MelonDS to try to make using MelonDS easier. So MelonDS launcher is up on GitHub. It's 100% free and open source. And they say here that it provides a graphical interface to scan ROMs, display covers and titles, pin frequently played games, and launch them with a double click. They also mention that the project is not affiliated with the official MelonDS team. So at the time of filming here, the latest update for MelonDS launcher is version 2.0.0. And they say here that with this update, they've rebuilt the launcher UI, and they've also added a thumbnail system. If you're interested and wanted to learn more about it, again, like everything we talk about, links will be within that GitHub link in the bottom of the description below. Next up, we're talking about Hollow Knight Silksong, the unofficial port of Hollow Knight Silksong to Android. So we talked about this one a little while back when people announced that they were porting Hollow Knight Silksong to Android unofficially. And it turns out things have gone from questionable to highly controversial. From my understanding on this one, the developers behind this unofficial port are charging $10 for early access, which is, it's something. My recommendation here would be to explore purchasing Hollow Knight's Silksong officially, and then possibly using something like Winlater or GameHub to try to make it run on your Android device. I would say that's a far better solution overall. And speaking about PC ports, next up here we're talking about something I would say is pretty interesting, Super Mario Bros. Remastered for the PC. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this one in a previous video or two. But anyways, here over on Dark Side of Gaming, they've announced Super Mario Bros. Remastered PC is available for download. Now, if you are interested in this one and wanted to learn more about it, I'd recommend checking out that DSO Gaming article. And within the article here, they say the modders claim that Nintendo will not be able to take it down. They said they took steps to ensure Nintendo won't be able to shut it down. As such, Super Mario Bros. Remastered will not have any game assets. To work, it will require a ROM of the original NES game. In other words, it will be similar to the N64 recompilation projects. And since those are still up, we can assume that this fan remake will also be able to avoid Nintendo's hammer. Let me know your thoughts about that. And speaking about Nintendo, next up we're talking about the upcoming Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. And there is a little bit of controversy here, and in not necessarily, I would say, in a bad way, just in a fan way. But it appears that Link is depicted as a construct, which is raising a few eyebrows, and some people are for it, some people seem to be really against it. If you are interested in this one, I'd recommend checking out that article to read more up on it. One of the titles in that article, one of the headlines here, says, Age of Imprisonment just turned Zelda's legendary hero into a Zonai construct. And yeah, they're not having it. They're not happy at all. Now, let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. I would be very curious to hear what you have to say on the matter. In my opinion here, Link wasn't in the Age of Imprisonment. Zelda went back in time. And having Link embodied as a Zonai construct kind of makes sense with the game, or the timelines at least. I don't know here. I've got no issues with it. I think he looks pretty cool as a Zonai construct, and I'm curious to see what gameplay is like. But I guess fans really seem to be on the fence on this one. Let me know your thoughts. And continuing to talk about Nintendo stuff, next up we're talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. And if you're a fan of this game hitting the Switch too, and you were looking at picking it up physically, you might be disappointed to know that this game is more than likely going to be on a game keycard. Taking a look at the game file size, it's estimated at 87.9 gigabytes, which puts it over the 64 gig limit of the game cards. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd say there's good and bad news about this one. I'd say the good news is, well, not that it's on game keycard, or probably on game keycard, but the good news here is that based on the game size, it does seem that Switch 2 owners will be getting the full experience. I mean, if you take a look at the game size on PC, which I think is in the same ballpark, I would venture a guess and say the Switch 2 version is going to be pretty good. The downside is that it does appear it will be on a game keycard. And speaking about game sizes, next up we're talking about Skyrim. And based on the information here, it does seem as if this game would be pretty huge with all of these mods. There's a brand new video on YouTube, well, brand new-ish, it's 10 days old, that I'd recommend checking out. It's titled 8K60 Skyrim AE Ultra Modded Graphics on RTX 5090 with 3,580 plus mods and ray tracing. Now, first, the game looks absolutely wild, pretty much unrecognizable. And the comments here are also wild. Some people are saying they've seen better with less mods. Some people are questioning whether or not it has ray tracing. And this person here says, you know, the mods are too much when the only recognizable thing is the music. I would argue, I don't think that's too much. I would say that's an amazing thing. I mean, it basically feels like a brand new game. I'm not gonna lie here, I'm kind of surprised the comments are so divided. But I would love to hear your thoughts if you've seen the video. What do you think of over 3,500 mods in Skyrim? What do you think of the end result? And how many mods is too much? If someone was asking me how many mods I like, the answer is yes. Provided the PC can handle it, and I think that's the big one there. I don't think my PC could handle 3,500 plus mods. And speaking about mods, next up here we're talking about something that, well, if you're into modding MacBooks, but probably not your own, You might be interested in this one. I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I think it's hilarious. So there's a brand new GitHub page here for Fart Scroll Lid. And it says a hilarious macOS app that plays fart sounds as you open and close your MacBook lid, inspired by the classic Fart Scroll browser extension. And it features dynamic fart sounds, motion activated, real-time monitoring, and funny status messages. But moving on from that and switching from Mac to Windows here, and talking about the upcoming ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X and the regular Ally. And it seems that pricing has leaked, and the Xbox Ally is going to be priced at about $550 US or $549.99. And the ROG Xbox Ally X is priced at $899.99, so basically $900. Now, although this is an early leak and sometimes things are not as they appear, this is from YouTuber Destin. And based on the information in that video, I would say it seems pretty legitimate. I would recommend checking out the video if you wanted to learn more. And speaking about learning more, last up here, we're talking about the upcoming gaming handheld from AOIN, their Thor. And they posted a brand new video up on YouTube titled Game and Software Demo. If you wanted to see the Thor in action before it's officially reviewed, maybe check this one out. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff, unless you count that woodpecker. You might have seen some birds flying around in the background, so maybe they count too. Anyways, we talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.